Hi and welcome back to my playthrough of Doctor Who Time of the Daleks. I think I was not pretty clear on how this fixed point actually works. This clearly says cannot re-roll dice. So again, I'm not allowed to use any of my normal re-roll abilities. But the rules are pretty clear that I can still discard a black die to re-roll all of your dice at a fixed point. And without that ability, it would be pretty much useless trying to overcome those fixed points here. So it was a very good question. I'm pretty sure I did not explain it so roughly, but I hope this clears things up. So I think we can get back to business. So we will get our starting 2 sonic charge tokens, and because the first Doctor still has Susan with him, he gets an additional sonic charge token during the prepare step. This is what we did. This is also our maximum, but this is not a problem right now. I think he's going to spend 1 sonic charge in order to install an equipment, and this is a large scarf. It would be cool for the 4th Doctor, but right now we are not the 4th Doctor. We would be able to reroll 2 black dice, but in this case we could at least still reroll 1 of our dice. And I think that's already pretty much it for the prepare step. And then we come to the movement or travel step of the 1st Doctor. He could in theory go to Nerva Beacon Future. He would have to roll the TARDIS die, and this was one of the questions I had because it was really clear in the rules, but from I would understand, even if you want to travel to the new other time zone of the same location, you would still have to roll the TARDIS die. And I think I want to use his special ability, so again I will not use the TARDIS die, but instead travel to a new location. And here we have the 17th Far Future, and I think this is where he wants to go to because he can draw 3 timey-wimey cards. And on the other hand, maybe not. No, let's go to the other side. Here we could gain 3 sonic charge tokens, and there's a good chance that we are burning some charge tokens during this dilemma here. So let's prepare those tiles accordingly. Of course, oops, that's the wrong direction. That doesn't really matter. We will travel to Zeta Minor Future. Therefore, he's allowed to draw a timey-wimey card because of his special ability. And yeah, then let's see what awaits us. The Brain of Morbius. That's Time Breach. Okay, here the dice pool is now limited to 7 dice. This is also bad. But okay, let's see. Overall, we have to achieve now 6 symbols and 3 red symbols. This is again a very tough dilemma for the 1st Doctor here. But I think we are still able to get a new companion. And in order to do that, he will discard a timey-wimey card. That's the Fess, which he would have to discard if River Song is one of his companions. Right now, River Song is with him. And so we can draw an alien companion card. So let's quickly do that. And here we have Adric. While with the 4th or the 5th Doctor. No, we are not. Gives us 1 additional black die. So overall we are again short of red dice, and again we may think of asking help from another Doctor in this case, because Amy still provides 1 additional red die, which could be really important. On the other hand, Adric can do that too. No, I think not, but let's prepare the dice pool. We can still decide afterwards when we have seen the dice. So let's see. Again, we get 4 dice, 4 black dice for the Doctor. Then he provides a blue die. Susan provides another black die. River gives us another red die, and Adric gives us another black die. So we can now do some focusing, and now I have to really decide if I want to call for help, and I think I'd rather not at this point in time. I think I'm doing okay, but keep in mind we have to reduce our dice pool down to 7 because of Time Breach ability of that dilemma here. But of course we can focus first, and I think Susan will convert 1 black die to a blue one, to a green one. She will also convert this die into a blue one. River, I'm not so sure. I think I may be good in respect to blue dice, but we will definitely take another red die here from Adric. And then we have to basically reduce down to 7 because of the Time Breach. So this die is gone, and then yeah, let's roll some dice. Let's see. Okay, I think overall that's not too bad. Let's see, before we decide to reroll anything, I think we have the fist we are needing. We have this, we have this, we have this. And in theory, we only need another tactic symbol. And I still have at least... I have 3 rerolls in total. Based on those cards, here I can reroll 2 black dice, here I can reroll 1 another black die, and here I can roll another black die. And I can reroll every single die as long as I have rerolled. So I think I have to reconsider things here. I think I will place this symbol here now because I need the rerolls from the black dice. And in theory, if one of those dice shows this tactic symbol, I'm already good. So let's see. That's not good enough. This was the first reroll for 2 dice. Now I would reroll 1 die because of the large scarf. What do we have? No, that's not the right. So I will take another one here. And now I will use Susan's reroll ability in order to hope for another. No, that's not the right die. So I think in this case, we will now discard 3 Sonic Charge token. And this allows us to change 1 die to show the symbol of your choice. And yeah, guess what? We will take this die and change it to a tactic symbol, and hooray! We have overcome this dilemma. Isn't that great? So this guy is removed. Now we would move our TARDIS forward 2 spaces, and he would also gain 3 Sonic Charge tokens. So overall, again, not a bad turn. So let's move the TARDIS 1, 2 spaces here. Let's give him 1, 2, 3 Sonic Charge token, and of course we are now allowed to move Adric up and be part of our gang, basically permanently. Nice job, first Doctor. So let's move over to the 11th Doctor. He gets 1, 2, oh, only 2 of those Sonic Charge symbols or tokens. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any equipment whatsoever. So again, he will not be able to use his special ability at this point in time. And I think he wants to move from Earth to Nerva Beacon Future, because there, in theory, he could move his TARDIS forward 3 spaces. Right now, he's 3 spaces behind. So I think he really wants to catch up with the first Doctor here. But of course, first of all, he would need to roll the TARDIS die and really hope for a TARDIS symbol. Does it count? Yeah, let it count. So that's the TARDIS. He's allowed to move to Nerva Beacon Future. We would reveal the tile accordingly. Let's move it up. It's 5 symbols. It's again another time breach. So again, dice pool is limited to 7 dice. And yeah, I think overall not too bad. I think this should be really achievable for him, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's good. So let's build up his dice pool. No, first of all, he will spend 1 Sonic Charge token in order to get a 3rd companion. Again, it has to be an alien companion. And here we have Strux. He doesn't provide a die. That's not good. He would if he would be with Vastra or Jenny Flint. Right now we are not. That's kind of a pity. He allows us to reroll all red dice. Can be useful, but you never know. Or he can also transform a black die into a blue or a red die. So overall, maybe not the coolest companion in the world, at least not for this Doctor at this point in time. But yeah, let's build the dice pool. So again, it's 4 for the Doctor, and I think as of the next round, I will really do that more or less off camera, the preparation. We get a green die for Amy, we get a blue die from Rory, and unfortunately Struck doesn't provide us anything. Let's focus. We definitely need another red die. We take that from Amy. We also want to have another green die from Rory, and that's already pretty much it. Strux could also help us, but overall we only need 1 tactic symbol, and we can have this reroll here. So I think overall I will call it a day. I will not call for help. I think I'm doing okay. Let's simply roll the dice. Okie dokie, let's see. Okay, overall that's not too bad, I guess. But I think overall we are lacking 2 symbols, if I'm not mistaken. We have this, we have this. We have this, we have this. No, we are only lacking 1 symbol here. I don't have any rerolls. I could reroll the red dice, but this doesn't help me at all. And yeah, I think we have to spend our 3 Sonic Charge tokens. In theory, I could also only spend 2 and reroll, but I think overall I don't want to gamble too much. So I will rather discard all 3 tokens in order to change, I don't know, this die to this facing here. This means we have overcome this dilemma here as well, which is great. And our reward simply says move your TARDIS forward 3 spaces. Nice. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Overall, we are not doing bad at all. Of course, we are allowed to keep Strax, but I think I want to get rid of him at the start of the next round. I think right now I cannot really do much with him. Let's quickly move to the Dalek turn. The Dalek ship will simply move to Earth. Right now that's still fine. When we would advance it another time, we would come to this time anomaly and then we would draw our first time anomaly, and then things start to get a little bit ugly, to be honest. Coming back to the first Doctor, he only gets 1 Sonic Charge token, and I was really not thinking straight, I think, because I really should have gone to the other dilemma where he would have been allowed to draw timey-wimey cards instead of those Sonic Charge tokens. But yeah, that's life. I think he doesn't have any equipment cards either, so we can directly jump into the travel step. And I think again he wants to use his special ability in order to get another timey-wimey card, so he will not roll the TARDIS die, he will simply move to this location here. And I think he wants to move to the bank of Carabraxos Future here, because then he would be allowed to choose a timey-wimey card from the discard pile and add it to his hand. I think this is not too bad at all. So let's place the dilemmas like this. Let's move the Doctor here. He will get yet another card because of his special ability. And then we would flip the dilemma here accordingly. Right now that's only 2 symbols. And yeah, that's a pretty straightforward dilemma or adventure, it seems. Of course, he needs 3 green results or 3 running symbols here. You know, the Doctor is always running. He would have to dismiss 1 companion. This may be a bad thing, and the Dalek ship would move forward 2 spaces. Okay, let's build the dice pool before we decide if we are calling for help. And I think he doesn't need any help at this point in time. I think he should be fine. Let's focus. So Susan will give him another green die. Adric will give him another green die. And I think we will also go for an additional blue die from, I don't know, from River or Susan or Adric. Doesn't really matter. I think he wants to keep 3 black dice because he can reroll those like crazy, and I think that's pretty much it for him. He still has to achieve 3 running symbols, but I think with his Sonic Charge tokens and his rerolls, I really hope he should be good. Also keep in mind he was not allowed to draw a companion because his ranks were already full, so if he wanted to draw another companion, he would have needed to discard 1 of his existing ones, but I think right now he has a pretty strong combo, so he doesn't want to change that. Yeah, let's simply roll some dice here and let's see what we get. And this really looks awful, if I'm honest. So I think in this case, yeah, he will simply discard a black die and reroll all of those dice again. You will normally only use your normal reroll abilities after you have chosen to whatever discard a black die, because once you use them, they are gone. So you don't get your rerolls back when you discard a black die, of course. So let's see what we get here. And I think this is somewhat better. Or maybe it's not. Wow, okay, this may be a close call. It's still a dice game after all. I think so far I was incredibly lucky with my die rolls. And I think in this case, if I would have been rolled at least now 1 of those bulb symbols here, I would be fine and I would call it a day. But I think now let's discard an additional die. We still have 6 more. Let's re-roll all of those. And yeah, I think this is more like it. So we will place those guys here. We will place this guy here. And in theory, we are now looking for 1 more running symbol. And we still have now 3 rerolls in total. So yeah, let's go for that. So that's the first reroll. Oh, I thought I saw a running symbol already. No, that's the 3rd reroll. No, unfortunately not. And now again, I could decide to re-roll it or spending 3 Sonic Charge tokens. I think this is what I will do. He has 5 tokens so far. So I think, yeah, let's go for it. Let's simply spend 3 symbols. Let's make this a running symbol. And then again, we have overcome this dilemma here. So let's discard the Whisperman. We would move the TARDIS forward 2 spaces. And I believe for his bonus card from the discard pile, he will go for this message from the past here. Change 1 black die to the symbol of your choice. Now he has 4 timey-wimey cards, and that's already the hand limit, at least at the end of your turn. So then you have to discard down, but during your turn you can pretty much have as many cards as you want. This is already the end of his turn. Then it's the 11th Doctor. He will get his 2 Sonic Charge tokens. I think he wants to dismiss, not discard. I think I was pretty unclear. We can dismiss Strax now, so he will still be available. We will shuffle him back to the companion stack, the alien companion stack in this case. But he may appear anytime soon again. If he would have to discard a companion, he's normally removed from the game. But then really the tiles or whatever, the components really clearly tell to, hey, you have to discard a companion versus dismissing a component. But for now, let's get rid of Strux. The 11th Doctor is currently on a location without a dilemma, so he has to move away now. And the idea is to move him to Clara's apartment present here. We would have a linked location to Clara Oswald, and she's not too bad, to be honest. So I think this is definitely something we may consider. So let's roll the TARDIS die. He has to do that. Keep that in mind. Yeah, of course we are not successful. So we are not allowed to move to Clara's apartment. Now the TARDIS may know a better location for us. So let's see what we get. This location gets discarded at the end of the round, but for now it doesn't really make a difference. I think we will go to Monda's present here. So let's move him. Let's place those dilemma tokens accordingly. This goes here. This goes here. We will now have to reveal it. And wow, Sensorites. That's a tough one, I guess. Wow, okay. 5 symbols and 3 of those science symbols here. Are you kidding me? And here the fail effect, either dismiss a companion or move the Dalek ship forward 3 spaces. And this is significant. This is now really a decision where you say, do I want to damage my team? Because I have a pretty cool combo right now. Or do I don't know, yeah, move the Dalek ship forwards 3 spaces and let the other players also take care of this. So this is again one of those situations where I definitely think this is really somewhat of a competitive game. And what I really like about this one, to be honest. And we would still be allowed to gain a companion. Unfortunately not Clara, no longer, because there is no linked location here. But I think, again, we will discard a Sonic Charge token for now. Let's draw our companion. And guess what? Strax is back. Are you kidding me? This is tough. Okay, maybe during this adventure he may not be the worst companion, to be honest, but I was really hoping for something with some more rerolls. This is really what he's lacking. Of course, Amy can do a reroll for him, but overall there are really additional characters which allow him for rerolls, especially for black dice, for example. So right now, that's really bad. So I will now build the dice pool off camera, and then I will decide if I want to call for help. And as I have only 7 dice, I think I will call, but then I have to discard a card, and this could really give us a problem. Maybe I should... No, I think I will now play Determined Clara here. This gives us 1 additional red die, but this is a transfer, which means I have to transfer her to another player. In this case, that's apparently the first Doctor. So those characters switch sides relatively quickly, and at least this leaves me with 8 dice, and now I will do some focusing. And in theory, I really need blue dice like crazy, so I can exchange 2. Let's take this blue die here. That's fine. Let's take another blue die here. Oh no! I already have 3 blue dice. Of course, that's no longer possible. You can never roll more than 3 dice here. But I think we have already 3. That's fine. I think that's fine. So then in theory, you could use, I don't know, 1 black die here to exchange it for another red symbol. And maybe we should also use her for green, because green allows us to re-roll. And yeah, in theory, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Not really sure if that's a good idea, but yeah, we have to see. And we were not calling for help. So yeah, let's see what comes out of this. So it really seems the first Doctor should have been here. He's apparently showing up, but yeah, he was busy otherwise. So let's roll those dice, and that's kind of okay, I guess. Let's see what we need. We have this, we have this. We are still needing one of those. Problem is, we also are lacking 2 of those symbols, and this was really bad here, to be honest. So maybe I really should consider re-rolling all of those dice, because with 2 I will not be able to make it. Of course, I still have my re-roll of Strax. No, let's discard the black die. We will re-roll all of those dice. This is kind of a risk, that's for sure, but yeah, I think we can do better than this. And I think this made it. Okay, that's cool, that's cool. Where do we find a fist symbol? Only on the black, the red die, and that's it. Yeah, unfortunately. So we could now re-roll both of those dice, but the risk is really too high for me right now. So I think I want to play teamwork event anytime. We would gain 2 sonic charge token. Another Doctor would gain 2 sonic charge token. In this case, that's apparently the first Doctor. This card gets discarded, which is kind of okay. Then we would spend those 3 tokens right away, and this allows us to change the facing of this die to the fist symbol. And again, hooray, we have made it. This dilemma is discarded again. We would move your TARDIS forward 2 spaces, and we would gain 1 sonic charge token, which is really important. Let's move 1, 2 spaces here. We're really needing cards for him and sonic charge tokens. So overall, he's not doing that great as the first Doctor, especially if he continues to draw Strax as his companion. Really tenacious guy. So let's get the sonic charge token here. And that's pretty much already the end of his round. So let's go over to the Daleks. And they would now move to the first Time Anomaly token. So let's reveal it accordingly. Let's draw our first Time Anomaly card. And by the way, this is K9 here. This is one of the exclusive for, I think, early buyers or pre-order folks or whatnot. I'm not really using it because I think he's kind of lame. To be honest, it's nice that it's there, but I have never really used him. There is a K9 timey-wimey card though, which you can use, but this is really providing some additional bonuses. He's also switching back and forth between the Doctors, so yeah, can be nice, but I'm not using it. So let's draw our Time Anomaly card. Oh, and that's a horrible one. The Pandorica opens. I also can recall this episode. Oh man, place all 3 dice on this card. Doctors cannot use dice on this card. As a challenge, remove 1 die from this card each time a Doctor succeeds in a challenge that included a fist or a tactic symbol, and yeah, and then we would discard it. Wow. So I think this is something that we know from our the Elder Sign, sorry, where we also locking those dice, but right now all of those red dice are locked. So we should not really move to locations or dilemmas where there are too many of those symbols showing up. Of course, the black die still shows those symbols here, so don't get me wrong, but it's really not much tougher getting those strength and or tactic symbols. Okay, those were 2 full rounds of Doctor Who. I think we have made some progress. The Daleks are pretty far behind, but they will now continue to move, because with those red dice now locked on this Pandorica, this will be really much more challenging, believe it or not. And I think as of the next episode, things will definitely get way more intense, that's for sure. Hope you are still enjoying my little playthrough of Doctor Who here. It's really a great game, and don't get me wrong, of course, I'm somewhat disappointed that the game only ships with 4 Doctors, but apart from that, it's really an absolutely fun and clever little game. Every time we played it with various groups, they all enjoyed it. It's really a lot of fun. Hope to see you soon in one of my other videos, and yeah, until then, bye bye.